It's showtime. Welcome back to another episode of the Late Night Show with your host, Dr. Kojo, which is me. We're here today talking about the ADHD experience. Go ahead and get this right. I want to make sure everything looks good. Okay, I think we're good to go. We're talking about the ADHD experience. 8 things people with ADHD experience. Yesterday we did the same with autism, and today we're going to break it down, but we're going to talk about ADHD. So slightly different angle, but a very similar topic. Go ahead and use the comment section to let me know where you're checking in from, and then we'll get this live stream started. I am out of water. Let me go grab some water, and in the meantime, use the comment section to let me know where you're checking in from and what your name is, and then let's go ahead and get this party underway. Amy's checking in from Rhode Island. Amy, you were first up on the list. Give me 1 second, y'all. Okay. All right, let's rock and roll. Amy from Rhode Island is first up here. We have Love from Hamburg, Germany. So I know we have an international audience, but it's always good to see people from all over the world come through. What's up, Chrissy? Chrissy's checking in from Wisconsin. Chrissy, how are you? Good to see you. I'm looking on TikTok. Somebody says hello. What's going on, Neuro Originals? Deborah Dan, what's going on? We got love from Juneau, Alaska in the building. We got Boulder, Colorado in the house. Shelby, what's going on? Lexi, what's up? Lady Angel, I'm feeling good. On this Tuesday evening. It's 6:34 p.m. on the West Coast, which means that it's about 9:30 on the East Coast. Lexiana is checking in from Chicago. Lexiana, how are you? Good to see you. Speaking of Chicago, I will be in Chicago. I'll be in Chicago on the 18th of June. I'll be doing stand-up comedy at the Comedy Bar. So for more information, link is in the bio. Link is in the bio. Leilani is checking in from New York City. She's our moderator. I'll also be in New York City. I'll be in New York the week before at Rodney's Comedy Club in New York City. So that's June 11th. But we do kick things off in Houston, Texas. All jokes aside, Comedy Club, Houston, Texas, April the 26th. That's when we kick off the big Neurodivergent Comedy World Tour. April the 26th. For more information, link is in the bio. The next month, we're going to be in Nashville, Tennessee. That's my hometown. I grew up in Nashville, so it's going to be a big homecoming show for me. We're almost sold out on that show, and we're looking to add a second one. So I just want to take some time out and say thank you so much. I do appreciate everybody who supported, whether you shared the video, whether you've commented on the video, whether you pop into a live stream, whether you purchase tickets to a show. Thank you so much for your support. I really appreciate it. I just want to say it means so much to me. So thank you. And Jessica, you did not miss the live stream. You didn't miss the live stream. I was just slightly late, but I mean, depending on how we look at it, 6-ish, 6:30, not too bad. It's not too bad. I don't have any Florida dates yet, but we'll look to add some Florida dates. Hopefully I can come out to Tampa and Orlando and some other places. Make sure you try Stan's Donuts. Okay, so I'm hearing that when I come to Chicago, I need to try Stan's Donuts. I've never tried Stan's Donuts before, so maybe Stan is pretty good at whipping it up. Okay. I'll keep that in mind for when I come out to Chicago. Yeah, running on CPT. Yeah, exactly. Colored people time. That's exactly. I've been running on CPT for 33 years now. So someone says, do the happy dance. Y'all miss that dance? I got to make some more videos with that dance. Someone says, why do I feel like as an adult ADHD gets worse? Because it does get worse as an adult. And that's what we're going to talk about today. The 8 things that people with ADHD experience. And I do want to say that if you have ADHD, it's harder as an adult as opposed to being a kid. Because when you're a kid, your parents are able to help you out. Your parents are able to intervene and account for the lack of prefrontal cortex. You have a smaller prefrontal cortex than most people. So when it comes to decision making, you're going to need some help. So as a kid, your parents can help you out, but as an adult, it's like, hey, we feel like we're on our own. Yeah, there's more pressure as an adult, and there's no minimum bottom ground for you as an adult. Like if you're drowning, you can drown. Like you can drown all the way. You can fall flat on your face as an adult with ADHD, and nobody's coming to save you. That's a sad thing. So we're gonna get into it. And yes, I would love to come to Germany. I would love to come to the Philippines. I would love to take this thing international because we have people from all over the world, all over the globe, who tune in to watch the content, who tune in for the live stream. So I appreciate y'all. And Patrick, thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate you joining in from London. It's early for a water break, but it's never too early to take a little bit of a swig. Riley says, I think you might have saved my life when I was at my lowest in 2022, 2023. Riley, I see your comment on TikTok, and I really do appreciate that. I mean, I can't believe that I've been making content for this long. For the better part of the last decade, I've been making content, and it's consumed a big part of my life. So thank you so much for supporting the content, and it means everything to me that my content means something to you, if that makes sense. It means everything to me. So I really, 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 really appreciate you. I really appreciate you. And I am from DeVille. I am from DeVille. I grew up in Nashville, Tennessee. That was the first place that we lived in when we came from Norway. I was born in Ghana. Then we moved to Norway when I was about a year old, year and a half. Obviously, I don't remember. But we spent about 5 years in Norway. Then we moved to Nashville, Tennessee. In the summer of 1999, I became a big Titans fan. That's why you see all the Titans stuff in the background. That's why you see the Titans gear in the content. The Titans follow me on Instagram now, so I'd love to do something with the actual team, but I'm a huge Titans fan, Nashville through and through. So the show in Nashville is going to be a big homecoming. It's going to be a big homecoming. That's May 31st at the Zanies Lab. It's going to be so good. So good. Oh, when you said DeVille, I thought you meant Nashville. Rich is probably talking about Nashville. Mary's talking about Louisville. I guess Louisville can be a Ville too. It can be a Ville too. And Jessica, sorry to hear about your loss. Jessica, sorry for your loss. And a lot of parents still don't know that their kids are on the spectrum or have ADHD, and that's where I come in. That's where Dr. Kojo comes in, and I get to educate people and hopefully do it in an entertaining way, so that way people aren't bored by the content. So, you work at BNA? Okay, I hope you can make the show. I hope you can make the show. And I'm looking at TikTok comments. Puchiana says, going through depression right now. So happy I found your content. Shout out to the algorithm. I'm happy that the algorithm placed my videos on your timeline. It means a lot. Rich, I appreciate y'all. And I just want to say big thank you to everybody. One more time, big thank you to everybody who supports the content, because it means a lot to me. I work very hard to put the videos out, and between the ideation of the video, recording the video, reviewing the edits, and then picking the description, the caption that we're going to roll out with for the video, and then posting it on social media, and then seeing people's reaction to it, looking at the comments. I love that whole process. We post a video, then we do it all over again. Post another video, we do it all over again. Then we do it all over again. We just keep doing it over and over and over, because there are so many things to talk about. So it's really a question of, do I have the energy to put out the content? Because you can never cover every aspect of mental health, especially with neurodiversity. It's just too much. It's just too much. So I appreciate y'all. And hopefully I make it out to the Boston area. Boston is one of the cities that we have on our list. Boston, Seattle, Oklahoma City. It's a couple of cities that we're looking to come to. So we have 4 cities on the tour right now: Houston, Nashville, New York City, and Chicago. And like I said, we're going to do our best to add more cities to the tour. So I just want to say big thank you. And as it relates to tonight's topic, 8 things that every, where did I lose my list? 8 things that every person with ADHD will Experience. Ooh. And in my opinion, I think every ADHD person will experience these things. So obviously, if you're 11 years old, if you're 10 and you're in fifth grade, you may not have experienced all these things, but you live long enough with ADHD, you will experience these things. I really do believe that. I really do believe that. So um, let's go ahead and get into it. Working memory challenges. Working memory challenges. Number one, working memory challenges. What does that mean? I got to break that down to y'all so that way y'all know what I'm talking about. The first thing that every ADHDer will experience, challenges with your working memory. All right. So if you struggle with your working memory, this means that you'll do this thing where you walk into the kitchen. All right. You walk into the kitchen, then you kind of like look around, you look at the ceiling, you look at the floor, and then you look at your watch. Even if you have no watch, you look at your watch, your wrist, and you're like, I know I came into the kitchen for something, but I don't know why I came into the kitchen. I guess it'll come to me. And then you grab your keys, you hit the highway, and then you're driving to work. And on your way to work, you realize that you came to the kitchen because you left the bagels in the toaster and you came there for breakfast. But now you're already on the way to work and your breakfast is at home. And now you're like, dang it. That's why I was in the kitchen. That's why I was in the kitchen for a good 10 minutes. I was looking for my breakfast, but I forgot what I needed while I was in the kitchen. So that's working memory challenges. So it's hard for you to remember what somebody told you 10 minutes ago, or it's hard for you to remember why you went to the kitchen. But for some reason, you can remember every lyric to a Lil Wayne mixtape from 15 years ago. That's ADHD. You can remember all the stuff from the past, but the thing that just happened, like, it just like somebody just told you something. Gone. You forgot what they were talking about. And one of the reasons why we struggle with this is because we have so many tabs open in our brains. So when you're in the kitchen, you're not really in the present moment. You're thinking about what you have to do at work. You're thinking about what you couldn't do yesterday that you need to do today. You're thinking about the laundry that needs to be done after work. You're thinking about that first date that you have planned on Friday, and you're not sure if you should skip it or if you should attend it. You're thinking about the bills that need to be paid after you get paid on Friday. You're thinking about all these different things. So you go into the kitchen, and you just blank out because you're like, all right, I know I needed something in here. Something, I'm here for a reason, but I just don't know why I'm here. So that's working memory challenges right there. You walk into a room and you forget why. You forget why you were in that room. And it's very frustrating. It's frustrating because with ADHD, you already struggle to regulate your mood. And let's just define ADHD real quick. ADHD is difficulties with regulating your mood and regulating your attention. All right. So you have a hard time regulating your mood and regulating your attention. So if you already have a hard time managing your mood, I think it's easy to see how you can get pissed off when you walk into the kitchen and you don't know why you're in the kitchen, but you know that you need something from this room. I need something from the kitchen, but I don't know why I'm here. Why the heck am I in the kitchen? I need something. That's going to piss you off. It's going to piss you off. And our ability to do things when it comes to ADHD, it depends on the mood that we're in. The state that you're in is so important. Think about when you've done your best work or when people like to be around you. You're in a good mood. You feel good. You feel automatic, supersonic, hypnotic, and funky fresh. I'm surprised I remember like all the lyrics of that song. But that's how you feel because you're in a good mood. But when you're in a bad mood, think about how much you can get done in a bad mood. You don't do a lot in a bad mood. You might sit there and sulk and just think about what you couldn't get done. But when you're in a bad mood, I think for anybody, it's difficult to be productive in a bad mood. But especially when you have ADHD, being in the wrong mood can shut the whole day down. So it could be 9:22 a.m. and you can feel like the whole day is just shut down because of the mood that you're in. So you got to figure out, like, how do I stay in the best mood possible, even though I continue to walk into rooms and I don't know why I'm here. It's pissing me off, right? So you have to understand that if you can't manage your mood, you're going to be that much more frustrated. So when you walk into rooms and you don't know why you're there, it's best to utilize those breathing exercises. Just breathe in, breathe out, and tell yourself that it's going to be okay. Lindsay, what's going on? What's going on? And no, this is not off topic. This is ADHD. The way that you perceive rejection, you take it very personal, and you can be hurt. Like, I find that those of us who have ADHD, we're a bit more sensitive than other people. We really feel things. Like, not that people don't feel things at all, but we really feel something. If you feel great, you're on top of the world. You make all kinds of promises that you can't deliver on. And when you feel bad, like, we get low sometimes. The highs can be high, but the lows can be so low. The lows can be so low. So you have to understand that and give yourself some grace. Give yourself some grace. 70% of people who have ADHD go on to develop depression. Okay? So that's 7 out of 10 people. So if we have 100 people watching this live stream on Facebook and YouTube, and all 100 of them have ADHD, then about 70 of y'all are depressed. And if I'm doing the math with TikTok, 132 people on TikTok, 100 people on the other platform. So that's 230 people, right? So if all of the people who are watching this live stream right now have ADHD, right? 230 people, a good 70%, so a good 180, 190 people are depressed as well. And this is very interesting, because if you flip it around and you ask yourself, how many people who have depression, go on to develop ADHD? It's only 3%. Isn't that interesting? It's only 3%. 3% of people who have depression go on to develop ADHD, but 70% of people who have ADHD go on to develop depression. So that shows how depressing this condition can be. So every day, just trying to be in a good mood is a job. That's a job right there. If you have kids, that's another job. If you have if you have employment, that's another job. So it's a lot of things that you're trying your best to manage just by having ADHD. It can be difficult. So you got to give yourself some grace. You got to give yourself some grace. Happy Tuesday, Lovita. Good to see you. And I think I saw somebody allude to my second point. Jessica said something alluding to what I'm about to say right now. Object permanence. Can I spell permanence? Object permanence struggles. All right. With ADHD, it's important to know that your brain cannot conceptualize things that aren't visible to the naked eye. And what does that mean? That means that you're going to need visual cues in order to get things done. So what I do in my kitchen, I have a big whiteboard with the things that I have to do that day, where I have a checklist every single day. Hit the gym, lift for an hour, make sure I brush my teeth, make sure I shower, read my Bible, do some writing. I put all of that on a big whiteboard so that I have a big visual cue, a big reminder every single day. Because when you have ADHD, you struggle with object permanence. If you don't see it, it's not there. Out of sight, out of mind. So if you live in the same city as your parents, you'll probably call them more and you'll talk to them more. But the moment you move to Buffalo and they're in San Diego, okay, you're on the other side of the country. So now you talk to your parents less because you don't see them as much. So the ADHD brain needs visual cues. Don't try and buck the system. Don't tell yourself, oh, I'll be fine. Like, I'll just remember. No, you will forget. You will forget the thing. And then when you remember, by the time you remember, it might be too late. And then now you're kicking yourself because you didn't remember in time. So one thing that I do is I always have visual cues in the house. I always have visual cues. And I put the visual cues in places that I'm actually going to be at. So I spend a lot of time here in front of this iMac. So this is a good place to put things here for me so that way I don't forget. Like yesterday, we were talking about neurodivergent speed dating and a dating app for neurodivergence. and we kind of went off on a little bit of a tangent. But I told myself, man, that'd be such a great idea because I'm neurodivergent, and I struggle with dating, and not so much finding a person, but like keeping the thing going. I struggle to keep that same energy up. So creating an app would be such a good idea. But I know that good ideas come in my head and then they go out. So I wrote neurodivergent speed dating here. Can y'all see it? I wrote neurodivergent speed dating here on the back of a ticket. By the way, this is a ticket that I paid, an old ticket. And I put the ticket here because I didn't want to forget to like pay the ticket. So I paid a ticket and I left it here. But I put neurodivergent speed dating here. So that way I don't forget. You have to have a visual cue or else you're going to forget the thing. Trust me, you're going to forget the thing. Alex in Nashville, I appreciate you. I appreciate you. So neurodivergent speed dating is something that I do not want to forget. But if I didn't write it down, I would forget it. And then I'd be pissed when somebody else pops up with a neurodivergent speed dating. Like, dang, that was my idea. Well, now I have a visual cue. I have a reminder. So anyone can find someone, but quality is a different story. For the most part, but I don't think anybody can find anyone. Not to go too off topic, but it can be hard to find. It can be hard to find your person or find a person. Some people, it's just hard to find anybody, especially if you're not going out. Like if you're not interacting with people, guys, you're not gonna find anybody. Like if you spend the majority of your time in the house and you just go to work and like maybe church, where are you gonna find people? You know, so you have to leave the house, or I mean, of course, online dating, you can do that as well. But yeah. So object permanence difficulties. You need a visual cue for things, and don't feel bad for needing a visual cue. I need visual cues, and I'll color code them because the colors help me remember things in different, ways. So I put some things in red, some things in yellow, some things in green, some things in blue, and that's how I remember things. It works for me. Oh, Denise says people don't understand this. Only surface level. We need more. Facts. And I'm going to drop the third one in here. Low dopamine and interest-based attention, which is one reason why dating can be hard, because we lose interest fast. All right, my bladder is screaming at me. I gotta go pee. I'm gonna go pee, and I'll be right back. I'm just keep it all the way funky with y'all. You both gotta pee. Boy, had to empty his bladder. I feel so good now. Let me shut this window down. So that way I can be as loud as I want to be. Woo. That's how you can tell that I'm not dehydrated today. I clearly had a lot to drink because I had to pee midstream. So the third thing that people with ADHD experience, low dopamine, interest-based attention. All right. So the average person without ADHD, when they're not interested in something, they can push through and they'll be okay. And they'll make it. They'll be bored out of their mind, but they'll just be a little annoyed. Now with you with ADHD, when you have zero interest in something, it's physically painful to just be there. Somebody's explaining something to you they don't care about. It's like the worst conversation in the world. You become impatient, you become antsy, you want to escape. You got to get out, wherever you're at, you got to get out of there. So it's difficult when you pay attention to things based off of how interested you are in that thing. You're going to have a lot of conversations in life where you're going to have to fake the funk, right? So this is masking. Somebody's talking to you about something that you don't care about, and I mean, you could care less about it, but you have to pretend, or you have to make it seem as if you have some type of interest in that thing when you could care less. And you have to tap into your acting skills here. Like, oh, okay, that's okay, cool. That's interesting. Okay, yeah, sure. Thank you. Okay, okay. The whole time you could care less, but you have to fake the funk. I mean, you don't have to, but you feel compelled because somebody's talking about something that you don't care about. And I mean, like you would rather watch paint dry. That's how bored you are. It's tough for us to be bored, which is part of the problem with ADHD. You can't just sit there and be bored. It's hard for us to do nothing. That's why a lot of us will have a day where we have nothing to do on our to-do list, like a nothing day. And those days are the hardest days because our only thing to do is to do nothing. And even meditating is hard for us. Just sitting there and just meditating and letting thoughts come to us, it's very difficult because we feel like we have to do something. We want to move around. We have to do something. So low dopamine is, I mean, being understimulated is one of our biggest issues. Because if you're struggling with this a lot, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to pour a whole bunch of dopamine into your system all at once. And this is why a lot of us tend to have addictions. And with ADHD, it might not be just one addiction. It could be multiple addiction. And your addiction could be a person. It could be limerence in the form of a person. It could be substances. It could be sex. It could be gambling. Things that bring a rush of dopamine. You have to be very careful with those things when you have ADHD. Anything that brings like a big a big wave of dopamine, you got to be very careful with that thing because more than likely, if you become hooked on it, it can be very difficult to stop because this is what your brain wants. Like you're desperately seeking out dopamine. So when you're desperately seeking out anything, you're kind of at a disadvantage. You feel like that thing has power over you. You feel a little powerless. So it's always important to just understand that you have ADHD. So when you're understimulated, this is a prime time to get in trouble. So look at kids who have ADHD and read the report cards. Like every kid has a very similar report card. It'll say something like, a very bright student, moves around a lot in seat, class clown, always looking to make people laugh, needs to be told to be quiet. These are kids that have to be moved to the front of the classroom because when you leave them all the way in the back, they're, like shooting the little paper balls through the straws. They're playing this little game with the little paper football. They're playing with the person in front of them's hair. That was me. Like doing whatever I could do to not do the thing that I had to do. All right. So when we're understimulated, this is a prime time for us to get in trouble. So to just understand that when you're bored, and we're kind of like Australian shepherds, like my dog, when my dog is bored, she becomes destructive. And I'm not saying that people who have ADHD were dogs, but if you can listen to what I'm saying here, what I'm saying is that we become very self-sabotaging and destructive when we're bored. So we have to have a game plan for boredom. All of us need a game plan for boredom. And Jonathan says, I was hooked to corn for 20 years. Jonathan, thank you for admitting. We could do a whole paper on corn and ADHD. There's a big link there, a huge link there. Because back in the day, you have to go and you have to get the Hustler magazines or steal some VHS tapes or try and like look at your dad's stash underneath the bed. Today, you can just go to a website, all that dopamine just flooding your brain, just flooding your brain. You don't have to even talk to the opposite sex. You can just watch a video. We have to be very careful with things that bring in a lot of dopamine. A lot of dopamine. Bunny says, being bored is a bad idea for me. That's why I look for toxic females to fill my time. You and me both. You and me both. And Ghost says, remember using your imagination. Hey, you used to have to use your imagination back in the day. Now you don't really have to. Yeah, nothing wrong with eating corn, though. Eating corn, I mean, you might have to brush your teeth every now and then, but eating corn ain't too bad. That's funny. And someone says, what can we do if we are bored? Practice getting good at sitting still and doing nothing. Sometimes I'll be in the car and I'll drive with no music, no podcast, just my own thoughts. Just my own thoughts. To try and get better at silence. Just sit there. Do my breathing exercises. Just think. You see how when you control your breath, you can help yourself relax? Just think. We don't have to fill up all of our free time with something. It's okay to just sit there by yourself and to let things come to you, okay? So to just be aware of the fact that we don't want to be bored. We hate being bored and we hate being understimulated. But if you can get better at this, it will help you out. I mean, this is like self-care for the person who tends to self-sabotage. You just get better at being bored, okay? And also with pattern recognition, if you can connect the dots between I felt bored. Because I felt bored, I did this. Because I did this, it hurt me this way. If you can connect the dots like that, now we're really making progress. And for those of us who have ADHD, it's very important that we connect the dots. Don't worry about checking out the boxes. Like, oh, I did this, I did. No, connect the dots. Make things make sense. When they make sense for you, the likelihood that you'll fall through on something is much higher. A lot of us need to know the why as to why we do something. We got to connect the dots. And I'm seeing on TikTok, a lot of people are saying they drive in silence is therapeutic. Yeah. Nah, it's one of the best ways to just let your brain relax, right? Because we consume so much content. And I'm not saying that we should all become content creators like me, but if you create more than you consume, you give yourself a chance to actually enjoy what you're consuming. And it's a good creative outlet. And you don't have to make content, but just writing. We should all be creating something. If you're neurodivergent, you should be working on something outside of your job, something that makes your soul light up. Do your job because we gotta get paid and we gotta do what we need to do, but you need something that makes your soul light up. Impulsivity. The fourth thing that people with ADHD experience is impulsivity. Doing things without thinking them all the way through. Chase, this is funny right here. You must be in Houston. This is funny. I like our new uniforms, but yeah, we definitely are tugging on to our Houston roots. They're pretty much new school Oilers uniforms. So I know the guys in Houston don't like that, but we'll take it in Tennessee. We'll definitely take it. Impulsivity. The fourth thing that people with ADHD struggle with. You do things, then you think, which is very frustrating. You do, then you think. Most times you think and then you do. But if you have ADHD, you'll catch yourself doing and then you'll think about it. Like, oh my goodness. Why did I do that? Why in the world did I do that? Like, I didn't think about that. And you'll be talking to yourself like, that wasn't the smartest thing to do. Like, I don't think it was a smart idea to go so crazy on Amazon because now I'm out of $200 and everything that I bought, I don't need. I already have these things at home. Why did I hit buy now, buy now, buy now, buy now, buy now? Now I'm out of $200. But that's what we tend to do. We tend to do and then think afterwards. If we can think, then do, we can cut down on the impulsivity. But once again, it's helpful to figure out what emotion leads to the impulsivity. Everybody at home should be asking themselves this question: what am I feeling that makes me act in an impulsive manner? If you can connect the dots, you can get a breakthrough, a huge breakthrough. So for me, I'll just go ahead and say it. One of the biggest triggers for me when it comes to being impulsive is lack of sleep. Now, the majority of neurodivergent individuals struggle with insomnia, so it doesn't make it any easier for us. But the lack of sleep. When I get 8-9 hours of sleep, I'm a rock star. I may still have the impulsive urges, but I'll think to myself and say, oh no, that's not smart. We don't need that. We don't have to buy that. It's all good. We're not buying that. We don't need it. Or, Kojo, I don't think we should text her. Like, she's in our past. It's not a good idea to text her. Draft whatever you want to draft, but do not send the text. Let the past be a past. Don't text her, Kojo. Don't buy this. Don't go here. Don't hang out with this person. Don't smoke this. When I have a lot of sleep, I can work through these decisions, okay? But when I'm low on sleep, that's when I tend to get in trouble. And speaking of loneliness, a lot of times we make impulsive decisions when we're lonely. And like I would say, even for me, like when I'm lonely, which is the majority of the time, I spend a lot of time by myself. When I'm lonely, I'm more prone or susceptible to being impulsive. But I think that lack of sleep is a bigger trigger for me, because I used to be functional with 4 to 5 hours of sleep in my 20s. Now it just doesn't work anymore. I can't do it. I wish I could, but I can't. I can't even lie to myself. I can't. And maybe it's because I'm getting older. Maybe it's because I'm in the gym all the time. But like, without enough sleep, my body just breaks down. It just breaks down. It is strange to throw about more on 4 to 6 hours sleep. No. I mean, somewhat. And some people just do better with less sleep. And sometimes, we can have some hypomania. I'm not saying that that's what's happening here, but sometimes some hypomania will make us so productive. And when you're hypomanic or manic, in general, you don't need as much sleep. The TikTok shop, there's a reason why it's so easy to buy on the TikTok, because it's right there. And TikTok, they figured out something that Amazon showed all of us, that if you can decrease the time that somebody takes between them thinking about something and then buying it, they'll buy it. So that's why when you watch a video on the TikTok shop, you just click it. Before you know it, it goes to your cart. Boom. Apple Pay, double tap on the side of the phone. If you look at it, boom. 2 days, it's at your house. That's crazy. That is crazy. And yes, you can have ADHD and be bipolar, because the mania will be coming from the bipolar. But mania is not a part of ADHD by itself. But ADHD can look like mania, so it becomes pretty difficult to tell, like, what's what. Yeah, and to answer your question, ADHD, it can't make you manic. ADHD does not make you manic. It can look like mania, but ADHD by itself does not make you manic. Now, this right here, number 5, these are not in any particular order, but number 5 might be the worst part about ADHD. At least if you ask me what the worst part of ADHD is, it's this right here, number 5. Difficulty starting things. I think this is the worst part of ADHD. And the close second is the emotional difficulties, the mood swings. But this right here, I mean, what's worse than struggling to get something started? In order to do something to completion, in order to complete anything, you got to start it. You have to start it. When it's hard to start something, it means that you won't do that thing because you have to start before you can complete it. But if you're struggling to initiate the task, you can sit there and watch yourself not do it. The whole time your confidence is just going low like this, lower and lower and lower and lower, all the way until we hit ground zero. And at that point, we're in full scarcity mode. We're not operating out of abundance. We're talking negatively to ourselves about ourselves. So this is executive dysfunction. Your brain has way too many tabs open. You're way too tired. You're dehydrated. You're sleep deprived. You're understimulated. Sometimes you're overstimulated. You have all this fatigue. It's hard to start anything. This is the hardest thing about ADHD. It really is. And when you're a kid, your parents are able to serve when you're a child with ADHD, your parents are your prefrontal cortex. They are the ones who say, hey, I'm not going to argue with your teachers. This assignment is due next week, but you're going to start on it today. So your parents force you to do things. They force you to get to school on time. They force you to do your homework. They force you to do what you have to do and not do what you shouldn't be doing. So they serve as an interim prefrontal cortex. But when you're an adult with ADHD, it's up to you. It's up to you to get the things done. It sucks. You have to get it done. And nobody's coming to make sure that you do it. You either do it or you don't. And if you don't do it, you just suffer the consequence. So that's why adult ADHD is very difficult. And this can lead to burnout too. It can lead to burnout. Burnout comes from working really hard on things that don't matter. And burnout can look a lot like depression. A lot like depression. So that to me is, I think, the worst part about ADHD. The worst part about ADHD. And this right here, this is a classic sign of ADHD right here. Number 6, inattention. Inattention. This is where somebody's talking to you and it's just hard to pay attention. I think it's self-explanatory. It's just hard to pay attention. It's hard. People are talking to you. People are telling you things that are pretty important. You could be at work and your boss could be explaining a very important concept to you. And you're listening for the first 20 seconds or so. But after a while, your brain just kind of drifts off. And then we start to daydream. And we're thinking about something else, something completely off topic. And you're just thinking and reminiscing about the past. And you're dreaming. And you're thinking. And after a while, you snap back into it. And you're like, oh, what did you say? Can you repeat what you just said? I'm sorry. I didn't catch that. Can you say that one more time? Inattention. And I believe that we have a unique ability as people who have ADHD to listen to somebody without looking at them. Because sometimes we have this special ability where we can look at somebody that's talking to us right in their face. We'll look at you while you're talking and not hear a single thing that you're saying. Like I'm looking at you and I'm watching you as you talk, and not in a creepy way, in a normal way. Like I'm looking at you, I'm observing you as you talk to me, but I'm not listening to a single thing that you're saying. My eyes are fixated on you, but I'm in a whole different dimension. I'm in a different world. Like we're in 2 different planets right now. And it's not until you ask me a question that I have to ask you more questions so that way I can get some more information. And based off of what you tell me, then I can answer your question to make it look like I was listening to you when I really wasn't. I see some people can relate to it. Yeah. And most times, if we're looking at somebody while they talk, we're not listening to them. But if we're looking at the floor or something else, we probably are. Somebody's talking to me, I'm looking down at this. Oh, I'm paying attention. Okay, yeah, sure. Yeah. But then you talk to me, I look at you. Oh no, nope. I'm gonna zone in, zone out, and then zone back in. And a lot of times, if you're really good at this, you can zone out, but then zone back in right before the person stops talking. And you can mention, you can piggyback off of one thing that you heard and say, oh, I like it how you mentioned that you have two cats because you travel a lot. And the person will say, oh, wait. They won't even know that you weren't paying attention. They'll have no idea. They'll have no idea. And we're in Nashville at the Zanies Comedy Club, May 31st. For more information, hit the link in the bio. I'll be in Nashville May 31st. The first show is almost sold out. We're looking to add a second show. So come out for a night of comedy, a night of laughter. It's going to be a great, great, great time. And Nashville is the second stop in the tour. We kick off in Houston, Texas on the 26th of April at the All Jokes Aside Comedy Club. In order to get ticket information, like I said, the link is in the bio. Yeah. Ghost in the Schema, I will see you at the show. We'll come out to Sydney, Australia. We'll leave the U.S. eventually. Don't you worry. We'll leave the U.S. eventually. Don't you worry. Miranda Lawson on TikTok. Your videos have made me feel so seen. Thank you. Thank you, Miranda, for your attention. I appreciate you. And Chantel says, I think that the more tired I am, the less attention I'm able to give. Yeah, that's normally how it is. This is why it's so important for us to get sleep. When you have ADHD, your brain is working 3 times as hard as the average brain every single day. So the least you could do is at least rest your brain. The least you could do is give yourself some time to recharge. You're walking around with a battery. Your brain battery is on 7%, and it's 9 o'clock in the morning. How are we going to make it through the day? You have to let yourself recharge, okay? You got to let yourself recharge. And Rich Auntie says, are you coming to Houston? Rich Auntie, I will be in Houston. April 26th, I'm in Houston, Texas at the All Jokes Aside Comedy Club. And we're looking to come to Washington State too eventually. But right now we have 4 cities on tour. Houston, Nashville, New York City, and Chicago. That's what we have right now. Ooh, this next one right here. Distractibility. 7th thing that people with ADHD experience, being easily distracted. All right. So earlier, I was saying that when you have ADHD, you struggle to regulate your mood and your attention. Okay. And regulating your attention is something that's needed in order to lock in and to get things done. You have to know when it's time to pay attention and when you can let your brain just wander. All right. When you're in the middle of a lecture in class and you're about to fail the class and you need a certain grade to pass this class, that's a pretty good time to focus. Okay. That's the time that you want to be locked in, you want to focus. But if you're having a hard time focusing because you're easily distracted, things will not be done. Things will not be done. You're going to be behind on things. You're going to be overwhelmed. Like, it's not going to be a good look for you at all. So when you're easily distracted, the things pile up. And before you know it, now you're officially overwhelmed. We're overwhelmed because the to-do list is getting longer and longer and longer. And instead of us doing things, we're not doing anything. We're just thinking about how long the list is becoming and how far we are from doing any of those things. So the distractibility is one of the worst parts about ADHD. It's so hard to just focus. And people who don't get it will say, just focus, man, just focus. If it was as easy as just focusing, don't you think I would have done it by now? Do you think that I'd be waiting to get my Adderall every month at the pharmacy? I would just save my money. I wouldn't go to a psychiatrist. I would just focus. If it was as easy as just focusing, the makers of Adderall would never make another dollar. We would all just focus and just get the work done. If it was that easy, but it's not. And if you're easily distractible, then you need to know that you have to account for it in your system. And one thing that I say is very helpful to do is if you're about to work on something, if you're about to get into some deep focus, it's very helpful to grab everything that you need and then sit down and only get up if you have to use the restroom or if you have to eat. So let's say you're working on a group project and everybody's waiting on you because you haven't been pulling your own weight. Before you sit down, make sure you get your pen, your paper, your phone, your iPad, your laptop. If you get a lot of headaches, keep you some Tylenol. But get everything that you need and sit down in one location and hammer out the work. Only getting up to use the restroom or to eat. And if you do that, you're going to cut out a lot of distractions. Don't have any type of movie on in the background, unless the background noise helps you focus. But anything that's too stimulating that will divert your attention needs to be avoided. So you have to have a whole game plan for how you plan to account for the fact that you're easily distractible. That's ADHD right there. That is ADHD right there. And Neil says, my problem is I'll ignore all bodily needs when I'm hyper-focused. We tend to do this. And the reason why we do this is because we don't need a cue to pee or to use the restroom. Like, it's just a matter of holding it in until like our body forces us to go pee. In fact, I've had to pee again for the past 5 minutes. I'm about to go pee right now. But I've had to pee for the past 5 minutes and I'm just holding it in. And I'm like, you know what, Kojo? You should just go pee. Today, we actually drank a whole lot of water, which is unusual, but we drank a whole lot of water today. It's evident because normally I can go a whole 2 hours without peeing on a live stream. And those are the days where I'm not as hydrated. So clearly I'm hydrated today. But yeah, I do have to go pee. I do have to go pee. I put the 8th one on the screen. Yeah, we're gonna go get this bladder emptied out. 1 second. Man, did I have to pee. Man, did I have to pee. Oh my goodness. Mickey Ficky. Whew. And somebody asked if you get medicated at your first psychiatric visit. I'm not sure how other providers do it, but if it's ADHD or depression, I mean, most times when I see somebody for the first appointment, I medicate them, unless they don't want to. But I tend to medicate most times. Their body ain't moving. What is Mickey Ficky? Oh, Mickey Ficky is a phrase that we have in this community. It can mean a lot of different things. You can say it instead of saying the MF word, or you can use the word Mickey Ficky to describe somebody who's a deviant of some nature. So I like to say I'm a Mickey Ficky, but you can also be a good Mickey Ficky. It's a versatile word, a very versatile word. And someone on TikTok says, I be forgetting to pee until it's an emergency. We can typically hold our pee in for quite some time, but you want to make sure you don't pee on yourself. Number 8. Mickey Ficky. Yeah, Mickey Ficky. All right, so the 8th thing that people with ADHD experience, racing thoughts / hyperactive mind. And this is one of the reasons why I think some people confuse ADHD with bipolar disorder, because you can have racing thoughts when you have bipolar disorder. But the difference is that when you have bipolar disorder and you have racing thoughts, it normally comes with other things like pressured speech, inflated self-esteem, grandiosity. It comes with other things that show that you're in a manic episode. With ADHD, you have these racing thoughts kind of almost all the time. Like, it's rare to have just one thought in your brain. It's normally 3 or 4 different thoughts circulating in your brain that are interchangeable. They come and they go, and they come and they go. But normally your brain is always thinking about something. There's always something on your mind. And people will ask you the question, what are you thinking about? Nothing. Which is my way of saying I'm thinking about a lot of different things. But for the moment you ask me what I'm thinking about, up until this current moment, 7 seconds later, 3 different things have come in my brain and have left. I'm thinking about a million different things. How do I tell you what I'm thinking about? Like, you don't want to know what's in my brain. There's just too many things. And like Mary said, it never shuts off. It never shuts off. We're thinking about everything and anything. We're thinking about things from 2015, random interactions we've had with strangers. We're thinking about some of our glory days in 2016. I mean, so much is going through our brain. And when you have a brain that has racing thoughts and a hyperactive mind, I think you can see how difficult it can be to sleep. And this is one of the biggest reasons why I think you see the link between ADHD and substance use. Not every person who smokes, I'm talking about THC right now, cannabis. Not every person who smokes is doing it to like just get high. Some folks are just trying to go to bed. Some folks are just trying to quiet the thoughts so that they can rest and go to bed. That's why people with ADHD are 3 to 4 times more likely to use THC as compared to neurotypical people. Because we have so many thoughts in our, like, winding down is a chore. Have you ever seen these people who can just hop in bed and go to sleep? Do y'all know these folks? They can just brush their teeth and then they hop in the bed and be like, good night. And then they go to sleep. Have y'all seen these people? People are able to do that. They just hop in the bed and they go to sleep. Very weird. I'm like, what do you mean you don't have a whole routine for shutting the body down? What do you mean you can just like put your pajamas on and go to sleep? Very weird. I thought you have to take trazodone like me. You just hop in the bed and go straight to sleep. Very interesting. But some people do it. Some people do it. And look, Nella's saying my husband sleeping after 2 minutes makes me so mad. Guys, there are people who do this. I forget that they exist until I see comments like this. But no, there are people who they hop in the bed and then you'll be talking to them and you look over and they're fast asleep. You're like, oh, I've been talking for 3 minutes. You're asleep. What do you mean? I've been talking to you for 3 minutes. Like, when did you fall asleep? I didn't catch that. They're fast asleep. I wish I had that ability. Ooh, I pay some good money to have that ability where I can just hop. Tomorrow starts tonight. Tomorrow starts tonight. A lot of the success that you're going to have tomorrow, like, we don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. I hope that everybody who's watching this live stream right now, I hope that we have a fantastic week. I hope that tomorrow is a great day for you. I hope tomorrow is a day where you get things done. But tomorrow starts tonight. A lot of your success tomorrow starts tonight. Are you able to get to bed on time tonight? Are you able to sleep restfully and turn your brain off and turn it back on in the morning? If you can do that, that will determine a lot of your success tomorrow. But for some reason, we can't get to sleep on time. We have to unwind. It's a whole task to, like, going to bed is a whole routine for me. Like, I have to work myself up to go to bed. Mickey Ficky. Man, it's asleep, guys. It's asleep. These racing thoughts, the racing thoughts, and having a hyperactive mind, it's so hard. It's so hard. Heather, I appreciate you. Thank you so much, Heather. These comments are so nice. Y'all are far too kind. Jessica said, I broke up with a guy who fell asleep when I talk at night. Stay up with me and the goons. I mean, are you punishing him for being regular? He was just trying to go to sleep and get some rest. He was trying to get his beauty rest. My brother could take a 10-minute power nap and feel great. Yeah, what a jerk. Like, how can he do that and not share the recipe with us? Like, he needs to teach us, he needs to hold a course on how to take a 10-minute nap and feel great. Like, a lot of us, when a lot of us have to exhaust ourselves out. And when you reach this point of exhaustion, you just fall out. I feel like with ADHD, the natural or like the regular circadian rhythm is not like applicable to us. Like we go, and then we become exhausted. And once you're fully tired, then you can get some sleep. But man, it's hard to sleep when everybody else is sleeping. It's really hard. It's really, and this right here, this is solid advice right here. This is solid advice. With ADHD, if you want to sleep at night without a lot of issues, the time that you take your stimulants, the time that you take caffeine, be very mindful of it. I had to learn this the hard way. I learned this the harder way. I learned the harder way for real. Because I'm like, oh, it's 3-4 p.m. Let me get this extra cup of coffee. Let me get double shots of espresso. Like, let me get this energy so that way I can focus. You try that if you want. And then guess what? You do it and you are able to focus. You get that extra bit of caffeine. Now we're able to get things done at 4 or 5 p.m., 6 p.m., 7 p.m. But then when you want to go to bed at 9 p.m., it's like you're in the bed. You brush your teeth, you're in the bed, but you just can't go to sleep. So because of that, you're like, all right, you know what? Whatever. I'll lay in bed until I get tired. And then your phone's right there. So you're like, I might as well just scroll on TikTok. And let me see what they say on TikTok. Let me just scroll a little bit on TikTok. Scroll on TikTok. Then you look up. It was 9 o'clock when you started to scroll. Now it's 9:42 p.m. You're like, oh, okay. I'll scroll for 18 more minutes and I'll go to bed at 10 o'clock. 10 o'clock, I'm going to bed. I'm going to go to bed. You're scrolling on TikTok, you're laughing. You're saying people videos. You're watching Instagram reels. You're scrolling, laughing. Then you look at the time. Now it's 11:55 p.m. 2 hours went by. Oh my goodness. Well, I'm already scrolling on TikTok, so I might as well just scroll for a little bit more. 1:34 a.m. Okay, all right. I guess I'll go to bed now. And then you wake up, do it all over again. The whole time, the person who slept at 9 o'clock and it took it 10 minutes to go to bed, they've already got 4 hours of sleep. You may only get 4 hours of sleep in total that night. They've already gotten 4 hours of sleep. They're going to end up with 8 to 9 hours of rest. They're going to wake up tomorrow and they're going to be ready to go. They're going to be charged up. You're going to raw dog a day on 4.5 hours of sleep. Not good. Not good. Donna, you and me both. You and me both. You and me both. Heather, I know. And no, it's interesting that you say this. This happens to me. Like I'll get tired between like these last couple of hours. Or have you ever been at work, right? And let's say it's 4:15. You got 45 minutes left until your shift is over. It's 4:15. You're waiting for it to be 5 so you can go home. 4:30 p.m. You're so tired. You're at work like you're trying to keep your eyes open. You're so tired at 4:30. But the moment it hits 5, you catch a second wind. And that second wind doesn't die down until 9:45 p.m. It's like if you were as sleepy as you were during the last hour of work when you went to go to bed, you wouldn't have that many issues. It's almost like you should bring your work laptop into the bed and pretend that you're at work to help you fall asleep. And look, if that works for you guys, if that works for you, do it. There's no shame here. Whatever we need, do it. Do it. And Aubrey says, I need like 50 alarms, each 1 minute apart to wake up because I get like, oh, my goodness. How many alarms do I have? I'm right up there with you. 5, 10, 15. I'm just guessing 20, 25, 30, 35. I have about 35 alarms. Y'all see this? 35 alarms. So, like, I live this. There's a reason why this skits are so accurate. These aren't being made up. This is my real life. 35 alarms, and that's on one iPhone. Mind you, I have 2 iPhones and an iPad with alarms. So now let's look at this right here. More alarms on my second phone. Look at this. If this isn't the most ADHD thing of all time, look at this. Alarms, 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 alarm, 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 alarm. And I still sleep through them all. I have to go and change some of the songs. Look at that. I probably have another 35, 70 alarms. This is not normal, guys. I think I need to change like my wake up song. I need to change to something that I don't normally listen to. I think I'm gonna go with Wide Awake by Katy Perry. Seriously, that's what I think I'm gonna do. I'm gonna put an alarm on for 7:40 and pick a song. I don't know if we have Wide Awake in our library, but we need to put it in there. We don't. That's what I'm gonna do. Wide Awake by See, you have to make life fun when you have ADHD. Wide Awake by Katy Perry. Now I have to add it to my. Okay, you have to add the song to your library first. Now, when I'm wide awake and I'm falling from the sky. Yep, snooze duration 9 minutes. That's how we're waking up tomorrow. I think we should all change. We should all change the songs that we have for our alarms, because if you've been listening to the same thing for years, like your brain doesn't even like it's whatever. Like you're used to hearing that same old wake up song, that same old alarm, like this alarm right here. Nobody should be using this right here. This one right here should be banned. I'm gonna show you which one. This does not work, guys. This is annoying. This is what makes you want to punch your phone in the morning. Does not work. Everybody should change their song right now to Wide Awake by Katy Perry. And I'm falling from the cloud. Now I'm gonna be excited to wake up in the morning, because when I hear, like, I kid you not, when I hear Wide Awake go off in the morning and I wake up and there's no woman next to me and like it was my idea to have, it's gonna throw me off. I'm like, who changed my wake up song to Wide Awake? Who did that? But you can't have the generic. You have to switch it up with ADHD. Oh, you got an idea? Okay. Most of the alarms I have are inactive. Yeah, I mean, I have a lot that are inactive that I don't use, but like I'm deaf to my regular, like, what songs do I have for my let me see. What songs do I have? Dollar and a Dream, J. Cole, Signature by Soja, The Key by Thames, now Wide Awake by Katy Perry. Yeah. A brand new song is what I need. I think a brand new song, and I only put one alarm on. Only one alarm on for 7:40 a.m. Just one alarm, and we'll see how it goes. We will see how it goes. And I bet you I'm gonna forget that I changed the song. Knowing me, I'm gonna forget that I changed it. And Kalea Lee, is that how you say your name? Kalea Lee? Is it best for people with ADHD to date other neurodivergent people? I think it could be easier for you to date other neurodivergents, but if you have ADHD, the key thing that you need to do is you need to find ways to date somebody who likes you, not the idea of you. Okay? There's a big difference. The idea of you is who that person believes you to be, which is very different from who you actually are. The person that you're dating needs to be somebody who is committed to learning how you are and who you are. So I mean, you got to stand down on that. I'm wide awake. New vocal stem unlocked. I'm wide awake. I am trying to hold on. I'm wide awake. Look, now I'm excited to wake up in the morning. I'm excited to wake up in the morning because I have a brand new alarm. I got a brand new alarm. I'm gonna go home and my siblings are gonna hear that song like, "Yo, Kojo, why is Katy Perry your wake up song?" I said, "Hey, if it works, if Katy Perry is able to get me up in the morning, I'm keeping it. I'm keeping it." So we're gonna see how good of a job Katy Perry can do. I think she'll do a pretty good job. I'm not sure, but I'm giving it a shot. I'm giving it a shot. Ekalele at his finest. Facts, Mary. And Kalele says, I've ran into plenty of times as well as love bombers. Look, when you have ADHD, we have to be very careful with the love bombers. And sometimes we are the love bombers. Can we just be honest for a second? Sometimes we are the love bombers ourselves. I know that over here, nobody's a narcissist and nobody is like, it's everybody else who's toxic. Like nobody is ever toxic here. And we're always on the right side of history. Like we're always perfect. All right. Let's keep it a buck. Sometimes we are the love bombers. Nothing wrong with taking some accountability and just being mindful of your patterns. And then we'll just do better the next time around. We have to be, beat ourselves up. But if you are a love bomber, just, learn to take it a little bit slower. And Candace is asking a question here that I think somebody else asked on TikTok. How do I support my boyfriend who has ADHD? This is my first relationship with someone who has it. So I'm trying to learn. Never assume. Communicate. When they're in a good mood, don't try and get them to overpromise. When they're in a bad mood, do your best to help them realize that the bad moods won't stay for forever. Like it'll come and it'll go. And exercise, like not that you should say, hey, you go exercise, but whenever he's feeling frustrated, if you can even just going for a walk when he's feeling frustrated, like going on a walk together, a walk solves all of our problems. It's crazy. The older you get, I realize that going for a walk and getting some water and sleeping 8 hours at night, it's crazy. And I'm Dr. Kojo, and I'll still be so shocked when I go for a walk. I get 8 hours of sleep and I drink some water and I feel better. I'm like, oh my goodness, it was this easy the whole time. All I had to do was just get some exercise, drink some water, and sleep. What? The whole time I've been feeling so depressed and so unmotivated, and all I had to do was just get some water and get some sleep and go for a walk and go touch grass. So yeah, that's what I would say. That's what I would say. Right. You feel so much better. You feel so much better. So much better. On TikTok, someone says, teen was diagnosed with ADHD today. Not surprised, but also not sure what's next. Any tips? Yeah, I got some tips. So anybody who has ADHD or autism, and especially somebody who has both, will need some type of external support. So as a teenager, like if your teenager was diagnosed with autism and ADHD, you are the parent. So you can step in and you can help them out where they need support. But it's very important for your teenager to have some sense of autonomy. So helping them out is good. But what's even better than helping them out is showing them how they can do things on their own if they can do it on their own. So helping your teen be more autonomous while helping them out is the way to go. This is the way to go. And also just helping them recognize that autism ADHD is not an excuse. It's only an explanation. So once they get really good at pattern recognition and they can figure out how autism and how ADHD affect their life, their life on a personal basis, then that's going to be the breakthrough. Because if you know that your autism and ADHD makes you overly emotional, or makes you very talkative, or makes you shut down when certain things happen, then you can come up with a game plan for what to do when those situations happen. So, and no, exercise is key. Exercise is key. Exercise is key, and no problem. Thank you for the question. Exercise, you gotta get some exercise. I went to the gym today. I was lifting the heavy weights, and then as I left, I felt so good. I'm like, that's the key, and that's one of my biggest motivators for me working out in the morning. I didn't work out in the morning today, but if you're able to get a workout in before you go to work, now I know everybody can't do this, but if you can get a workout or a walk in before you start your day, come back on this live stream and tell me how good you felt throughout the day. You probably went into the day feeling so much better about yourself. So now when you go to work and somebody is, trying to argue with you, or even like when you come back home and your partner's trying to pick a fight for no reason, instead of you fighting back, you're like, I understand. They're going to be shocked. They're like, they're looking for a fight. You're just understanding today. You're like, okay, yeah, I get it. I'll do better next time. They're like, what do we have here? Like, hey, I got 8 hours of sleep. I drank a couple of water bottles, and I hit the gym. I feel great. And what do your study habits look like in med school? So I have a DNP degree, Doctorate of Nursing Practice degree. That was a 3-year doctoral program. And my study habits were, balls to the wall. I don't know how else to say it. Balls to the wall. Like I would study like 10, 12 hours in a row. I take breaks throughout, but I'd study deep into the night. I'd pull all-nighters. It was nothing that was healthy. So I did not have healthy study habits. Not at all. I just went balls to the wall, and I just busted my butt to retain the information. And then I would study to the point of exhaustion, fall asleep, wake back up, and do it all over again. Might not be the answer you're looking for, but that's how I studied. If I'm being 100% honest. Michelle, good to see you, Michelle. I did take medications through grad school. Actually, I took meds in grad school. That was when I first got diagnosed for ADHD, and I got a prescription for Ritalin, and it changed my life. It changed. And I've told the story multiple times, but I go in, I get diagnosed, I get the prescription for Ritalin, go to CVS, pick it up, take the medication on the way to my ex-girlfriend's house. I go to her house, and instead of playing patty cake with her butt, which is normally what I do, I went straight into her room. No Mickey Ficky, no nothing. I opened up my laptop and I started working. I didn't even watch football highlights. I just went straight to the work. I started getting my work done. And 2 hours later, I was done with all of my work. And it shocked me. And at that very moment, I knew that my life had changed. I said, this is what ADHD medications do to you? Oh, like this is crazy. This has changed my life. It changed my life. It was a transformative experience. So the number one best tip that I have for ADHD, in my opinion, is to take the medication. And I hate to give that answer because I wish I could give y'all something that you can do right now without a psychiatrist's help. But that's the number one thing that helped me out. Oh yeah. You go home to your girlfriend, you play patty cake with her butt, and you're like, you play patty cake, make me a cake, make me. And she's like, no, not now, not now, Kudo, not now, not now. No, I'm on the phone. I'm on the phone. I'm like, fine. Oh my goodness, the medications changed my life. It changed my life. It changed my life. Um, ah, so I remember being on Ritalin, and then eventually it was Concerta, and I think I was having diarrhea with Concerta. I'm just telling all the truth. Maybe y'all like it, maybe you don't. I think I was having some stomach issues with Concerta, and that's why we try Adderall. Um, I remember that. It had something to do with that. It had something to do with that. Patty cake, make me a cake, make me. Is that how it goes? It's funny. Yeah, I see that in the comment section. There's mixed reactions to the medications. It's a trial and error thing. Some meds work well for people, some meds don't. It requires intervention from a provider. Somebody has to prescribe you the medication. So that's an unfortunate thing. You can't just prescribe your own Adderall and go to CVS and pick it up. But yeah, that's been the most helpful thing that I've done for my ADHD. Have I ever taken a medication that magnified my ADHD symptoms? Ooh, good question right there. Nothing comes to mind. This is a good question though, but nothing comes to mind. Like every medication I've taken has helped me out, but it was more so the side effects. Like I think it was a concern, but like that diarrhea, like I mean, at least give me time to find a toilet. Like, golly, there was some type of GI upset with some medication. I think it was a concern, but I'm not exactly sure. And Ritalin and Concerta is the same thing. Concerta is long-acting Ritalin. I should have clarified that so that way it makes a bit more sense for y'all. And Heather, I can't recommend anything for an 8-year-old. Like that's not my patient, and I'll get dinged by if I recommend medications, which I've never done, by the way. I know on TikTok, I think I maybe was reported on TikTok Live, which is crazy because I have never, not once in 6 years of doing this, recommended anybody any medication. I mean, I've spoken about my experiences, but I've never recommended anybody medication. So I don't know why somebody dinged me for it. But for people asking what to do if the stimulants don't work, I would say then you talk to your doctor about non-stimulant options. Yeah, like Lola said, meds work differently for everybody, and it's not just the stimulants that you can use. You can use like non-stimulants. You can use beta blockers. So it just depends. It depends. ChatGPT is my therapist. Oh my goodness. Oh, no, Heather, it's all good. You didn't know? You're chilling. You good. You good. You good. No worries. No worries. Yeah, and I'm currently raw dogging. I know. This raw dogging thing. I mean, shout out to all my raw doggers out there. Shout out to all my raw doggers. Once again, like I said, the most helpful thing that I did was medications, but we can control how much sleep we get, right? To the best of our ability. We can control how much exercise we get. We can control how much processed foods we take in. But if you can keep that to a low, and at least walk every day, like brisk walking, going outside, touching grass, getting sleep, all that can help, especially if you're a raw dogger, especially if you're a raw dogger. Oh, this is a really good live stream, y'all. Really, really good live stream. I'm looking at my schedule. I got a slew of flights to catch, and I've been keeping up with the news. And some of my flights are going through Atlanta. People have had to like show up 4 hours early to get through these TSA lines. So now is not the time to be traveling, and it's just I hate that I have to travel this week. And then in a couple of weeks from now, and then also next month we have the comedy tour kicking off. So hopefully everything happening at the airport will just get like, hopefully it'll just be handled, because it's a nightmare to go through TSA anyways, like when things are good. But got a couple of flights this week. That's why we did our live streams on Monday and Tuesday. So instead of them being Tuesday and Thursday, yep, the upcoming trips. So I gotta be mindful of that. But instead of doing the Tuesday and Thursday live streams, we did Monday and Tuesday. So this is the last live stream of the week. I'll be on the road, and then we will resume next week Tuesday. Anastasia, I appreciate that. We'll resume next week Tuesday. I'm excited to get back on the live stream. This is so fun for me. So next week Tuesday, we resume with the live streams, and I think the following week after that is also another travel week. But for next week Tuesday, we're gonna have the regular schedule. And Mary, no, most definitely. If you're driving 2 hours to come to the show in Nashville, I got a big hug for you. Come on through. And if for some, I don't see a situation in which like you won't get your hug, but just say, you promised me a hug on Facebook Live. You promised me a hug on Facebook Live. And the Nashville show we're about 2 months away from it. May 31st, Zany's Lab. The first show is almost sold out. We're looking to add a second one. And we kick off the tour April the 26th in Houston, Texas. So for those of you in Houston, Texas, the tour starts off April the 26th at the All Jokes Aside Comedy Club. It's going to be me and my friends from California. We're coming to put on a show. All of us are neurospicy, which you'll probably be able to tell right away. But we're all neurospicy, and we're coming to give you all a night of laughter, a night of entertainment. It's going to be an amazing time. And I'm looking forward to it. And Mel B, are you coming to the show in New York? You're driving 3 hours to come to the show in New York City? Oh, it's going to be, I can't wait to see you, Mel. It's going to be so good. And Aaron, I hope you can come out to the show in Nashville. I hope you can come out. And for Carlos, yes, we have 2 shows in LA in the month of April. So LA that's my home turf. So the shows in LA are not headlining shows. So they're shorter shows. It's like 15-minute sets. Now, Nashville and Houston and New York City and Chicago, those are hour-long headlining sets. So LA, those are the shorter shows. But if you hit the link in my bio, I'll be doing stand-up before the Clippers game on April the 8th. So in 2 weeks, before the Clippers game at Intuit Dome, I'll be doing stand-up comedy. Come on out. You're going to have a great time. And after that, we have the basketball game. Then 2 days later at the Fourth Wall Comedy Club in Hollywood, I have a show. I'll go ahead and put that in the comment section. LA shows, because it's not in my bio yet. So LA shows we have before the Clippers game, before the Clippers and Thunder game at Intuit Dome Court B, and that should that's April the 8th, and tickets are in bio. So let me put this right here. The Midwest show is Chicago for now, but we'll look to add some more shows. And then for the show after that, we have Fourth Wall Comedy Club, and that's going to be April 10th, and that's a Friday. And the address, that's 522 Hollywood Boulevard. I know that off the top of my head because I've done so many shows there. Hollywood Boulevard, Los Angeles. Actually, it's Hollywood, California. So those are the shows that are coming up. Yep. No shows in Georgia and Alabama for right now, but I will be in Alabama this week because my cousin's graduating from the Air Force, something military. Either way, it's going to be at Maxwell Air Force Base. So that's part of my travels coming up here, going to Alabama. So I gotta stop in Atlanta and navigate through that whole airport. I gotta navigate through it. Mac, it's good to see you. It's good to see you, Mac. Shannon, I hope you can come out. It'll be great. The Fourth Wall is my favorite. That's my favorite comedy club in Los Angeles. This is my home club right here. This is where I work out all my material. This is where I do my open mics, the Fourth Wall Comedy Club. I love the brick layout of it. It gives me a real New York vibe, but it's in California. So I hope you can come out to that show. Even though it's a shorter show, I hope you can still come out to it, and it's going to be amazing. And Cynthia, no, I'm still on my medications. I'm still on my medications. And for sure, Leilani, these are all like public things. Yeah, I don't give away my like actual location. Like these are all public events. You know, like I've had a couple of stalkers, but nothing too crazy. Nothing that security can't handle. Nothing too crazy. Nothing too crazy. You know, we're vibing. So stalker and bringing pictures from these. That's funny. But yeah, so that's what we have going on. That's what we have going on in the month of April. So it's gonna be a great month, and this is gonna be a good week. It's gonna be a really, really, really good week. So until the next live stream, which is gonna be next week, Tuesday at same time, 6 p.m. I will see y'all then. And once again, the time is 6 p.m. California time next week, Tuesday, for the next live stream, or 6-ish California time, which is 9-ish on the East Coast, 9-ish Atlanta time, 8-ish Nashville time, 7-ish Phoenix, Arizona time, 6-ish Los Angeles time, 5-ish Alaska time, 4-ish Hawaii time, 2 a.m.-ish UK time. And Leilani, no worries. Sometimes we have long days and it's all good. I'm just grateful that you're able to come here on the live stream. Just thank you so much. And Mac, all of us are rooting for you. You got it. Be yourself. The girl's gonna love you. Like, and even if she doesn't, man, screw her. It wasn't the person for you. Okay, so we're gonna root for you on that one. All right. All right, y'all. Thank you so much. Great live stream. Great show. See y'all next week, Tuesday. Peace. Take care. Love y'all. And try and get some sleep. And yes, 9-ish Georgia time. All right. Y'all take care.